Namaste everyone. I welcome everybody to Diya's classroom. In today's class, we are going to talk about the pros and cons of cooperative society. Come, let's get geared up with the class. Cooperative society pros. The first pros that we have is equality in voting status. In the cooperative society, all the members of the cooperative society has got equal right to represent the board of directors. So one man vote, one vote system is applicable in the cooperative society. So equality in voting status is applicable for all the members of the cooperative society, irrespective of their capital contribution. So how much ever they would have contributed as capital in the cooperative society. So it is not, voting right is not depending upon their capital contribution in the cooperative society. Any members from the cooperative society can vote and they can nominate the board of directors. The second pros that we have is limited liability. The members of the cooperative society has got limited liability. How the limited liability is applicable for the members of the cooperative society means each and every member of the cooperative society would have been contributed capital in the cooperative society. So their liability will go up to their capital contribution only. So beyond that, they need not to take up any extra liability from the cooperative society. So apart from that, in the cooperative society, the members need not to sell their personal property to repay the debts of the business, that is cooperative society. So that is one of the advantage in this cooperative society. The third pro that we have is stable existence. Stable existence, which means the cooperative society will be continuing in case of death or members mentally ill, insanity. Even the bank has declared the particular member cannot repay the debts, that is bankruptcy. Bankruptcy, which means the bank will declare a particular person insolvent. He cannot repay the debts. Like that, the bank will be declaring. That is called bankruptcy. So in that case also, the cooperative society will be existing. It will be continuing. So the continuity of the cooperative society will not stop in case of death or insanity or in case of bankruptcy. It will be continuing. The stable existence will be there. So that is one of the advantage. And the fourth pros that we have is economy in operations. Operations, that is the cooperative society should get operated, right? So everything, all the transactions will be taking place. It will be very cheap, that is the members are joining together voluntarily to do welfare for the people, members of the cooperative society, isn't it? So they will be doing service voluntarily. So honorary service will be done. Honorary means nothing but voluntary service. So for that voluntary service, if the firm is paying any amount, it will be called as honorarium. So voluntary service members will be providing for the cooperative society. So operation will be very easy. So economically it will be very cheap. So that is one of the advantage. And the next approach that we have is support from government. This cooperative society will even get support from the government. How the government will support means the government will be giving some subsidies for the cooperative society, and even the tax will be reduced for the cooperative society. So the government will lowering the tax rate, and apart from that, if the cooperative society wanted to get any loans and advances from the bank, the rate of interest would be very less. So that is one of the advantage. And the last merit that we have is ease of formation. The cooperative society formation also very easy. So minimum 10 adults if they join together, they can easily form the cooperative society, and it should be registered under the Cooperative Societies Act 1912. Alright, so the formation also will be very easy, and the procedures, documentation, formation, everything is very simple only. So everybody can form. Only thing, the minimum 10 adults should be there, and it should be registered under the Cooperative Societies Act 1912. Alright, so these are all the pros of cooperative society. Now let's see the cons of the cooperative society. Cons of the cooperative society. Number one con is limited resources. The cooperative society will have only limited resources. Why? Because the members of the cooperative society has got one man, one vote privilege. So it will discourage the people to invest more in the cooperative society. So the finance source will be very less only, and the financial sources for the cooperative society from the members only. So their capital contribution, if it is very less, the resources would be very limited. That is one of the con. And the second con that we have is inefficiency in management. Since the cooperative society members will do voluntary service for the cooperative society, so we cannot say everybody will have very good managerial skills. So it cannot appoint any expertise people in the cooperative society also. So efficiency management will not be there in the cooperative society. So inefficiency in management will persist in the cooperative society. That is one of the disadvantage. The third con that we have is lack of secrecy. The cooperative society cannot maintain secrecy because all the members will be discussing together and the decision will be taken up by everybody. So the secrecy cannot be maintained there, because open secret for everybody, it will be revealed to everyone, and apart from that, the cooperative society has to publish its accounts to the government. So naturally the secrecy or confidentiality cannot be maintained in the cooperative society. That is one of the cons. The fourth con that we have is government control. The cooperative society has to obey the rules and regulations of the government, because the cooperative society is taking some privileges from the government, like getting subsidies and taxes will be lowered by the government for the cooperative society, and a lot of rules and regulations will be there for the cooperative society from the government side. So the government will have some control over the cooperative society. And the fifth con that we have is difference of opinion. When the people are joining together, when they discuss together, definitely they will be having difference of opinion. So the difference of opinion will make the members of the cooperative society to quarrel each other. So they may not accept people's opinion or decisions sometimes. It will lead into difference of opinion. And apart from that, some members of the cooperative society, leaving the welfare of the society, they will try to satisfy their personal interest. They will incorporate their personal interest in the cooperative society. So at times welfare will sit in the back seat. So difference of opinion also will be there in the cooperative society. And the last con that we have is no motivation. In the cooperative society, motivation will not be there, because people are doing voluntary service in the cooperative society, and for the best efforts there will not be any reward also, because if there is any surplus amount in the cooperative society, it will be divided among the members of the cooperative society. Individually the members will not be getting any incentive like extra salary, or for the best work they will not be getting or receiving any reward. So the surplus amount will be shared among the members. So no motivation will be there for the best doers or good doers. So these are all the cons of the cooperative society. Having understood about the pros and cons of cooperative society, we will end up this session today. I will meet you in the next class with a new session. Till then, it's bye from Vidya.